Okay, so today we are going to learn about AWS S3 encryption. So what is S3 encryption? What type of encryption? What do you mean by encryption first of all? And why we require encryption? So what is encryption in general? What is mean by encryption? So we are talking about data. Okay. So if you remember, uh, when two people communicate with each other, if they are talking in a general language, the third person can understand their language and they can the information will be leaked. If I don't want third person to understand what I'm trying to say or trying to communicate, so I will try to talk in a different language, right? So how the armies are communicating with each other? Army people communicate with each other if they are communicating in a general language, and if they want to share some secret message to each other, there there might be the chances that enemy might receive the same message, and they will get the secret message. To avoid this thing, the communication between two people i- or between army people, they send the message in encrypted format, right? So what is encryption? Encryption is basically to create a envelope over your message, so that if your data, if your information is leaked or received by third person, they will not able to understand what the actual message was. So I will give you one example how a simple encryption will look like. A very simple. This is simple message. Okay. Now this is a message, and there is a encryption key which I am adding in this message is AAA. So after each letter, I will add a AAA. So how the message will look like now? How encrypted message will look like? So this is the base message, and when I'm sending this message, I'm adding AAA after each and every character or letter. Now, can you understand what is the message in this? If I send this message, line number 6 to you, if you are the owner, means if you are the actual receiver, you will know that you have to remove AAA from each character. You have to decode this message by removing the AAA from each letter. But if you are not the actual owner, if you are the third person, and if you receive this message, can you able to understand what the message is in this line? So answer is no. You will not able to understand what is this. Is there any message in this or not? So this is what encryption look like. This is a very simple. So there are keys for encryption. So you have a data. We are talking about data. So data should be encrypted. Why it should be encrypted? To protect your company's information. So whenever we are storing the data in cloud in S3, it should be in encrypted format. It is recommended that you should encrypt your data and store in the cloud, or even if you are storing in your company's on premise, your data should be encrypted, so that if any cyber attack happens and information gets leaked, still they will not able to understand what is there in the data, right? If your files are stored like this, will any cyber uh, if your file is like this, will you able to understand, or the hacker will able to understand what is written inside the file? Yes or no? So this is encryption. right? Right now, I have done encryption in my local system for this message. For this message, I have add AAA after each character. So this is the encrypted message. Now to decrypt this message, I again at the receiver end or while reading the data again, need this key, encryption key, and the algorithm or how this message got encrypted. So you should know both key as well as how this key was implemented to encrypt the message. So how we did this encryption on this message? Append AAA to each character. So this is was my message. So while decrypting, what I have to do? I have to start removing AAA from each character. So AAA delete, AAA delete, AAA delete, and so on. So you should know the algorithm and the key. What is the key? So in market there are so many algorithm. You might have heard so 64 128-bit encryption, 64-bit encryption, uh, SHA-32 encryption. There are so many encryption algorithms or popular algorithms are available. But apart from that, you can create your own encryption algorithm, just like army people use when they communicate with each other. Now coming to cloud. Right now we are doing the encryption on our on-premise. So do you think if you have a huge file, if you have your huge amount of data, if you are doing the encryption at your on-premise, it will be a overburden and headache, and it will consume the resources in your local system or on-premise? Yes or no? If I ask you to encrypt the data in your on-premise, so you have to run the machine, you have to run the CPU, right? Agree? Okay. So, but I want my data to be encrypted. Let's understand how we can do the encryption on-premise, cloud, and what are the different techniques which you can use, and what are the feature Amazon provide to us. Okay. So this is my a PPT. So your data is like your you might have heard the word the data is new oil, right? Data is like a gold to us nowadays. So let's take an example of money. You are depositing your money in a bank. Okay. So what type of security you are giving to your money? So to the bank, from home to the bank, you have to make sure that your data is your money is secure. Agree? From coming from your home to the bank, you have to make sure your money is secure. So basically, while you're traveling, or we call it in transition, while transition, you have to make sure your money is secure. After you reach the bank, it's bank responsibility, right? How to give the security to your money. Okay, so now, there are, okay, after your data, your money has received to the bank. So there are three conditions how the bank will do the security of your money. But first is you have to make sure that the data which sorry, the money which you have to deposit in the bank should be securely transit to the bank. Point number one. That's called in transition. Now after the money has received in the bank, there are three conditions. That's how you want the bank to secure your money. One is you just deposit the cash, deposit the money to the bank cashier, and forget about it. You're not worried how the bank is going to provide the security. You are trusting everything on the bank. So you are trusting the bank system, you are trusting their logging system. So what if tomorrow your bank comes to you that their database has been deleted and all the money which you save in the bank, they don't have any record for that, so you lose your money. You require the records, right? So you are trusting their records, you're trusting their database, so that tomorrow you can withdraw your money. And if any security breach happen, it's not your concern, right? It's bank concern how they are going to mitigate any security breach, right? That's the one way. Okay, so trusting the bank. Second, in the banking system, there is one feature where you can take a locker from the bank. Agree? There is a locker in the bank. In this case, there is a partial uh, control is given to you. Like in this locker, you have one key and bank has one key, right? In this locker, so bank will give the security of the locker, but bank is not giving the security inside the locker. But my I want to make sure that here the key is the important role, that you are managing a key. So in the case of when you take a locker from the bank provide the key, right? That this is the key. So you have to manage the key. If you lose the key, you will not be able to access your data, your content inside the locker. So here the key is provided by the bank, but you have to manage the key. You have to make sure that you don't lose the key. If there is a problem with the key, replace the key. Right? Are we clear till here? Now third condition is you are not trusting the bank locker system as well. Okay, so what do? You bring your own locker, you bring your own vault and give to the bank. That just do the security of this locker. Everything is managed by me. Okay, just do the security for this vault. So these are the three conditions. Similarly, just understand trusting the bank, partial trusting the bank where I am managing the key. Third is bringing my own vault and depositing to the bank. Okay, these are the three conditions. Now correlate these three conditions with the S3 encryption. So what is S3 encryption now? So we are putting our data to cloud. You are the user and you are uploading the data to the bucket, to the S3 bucket, cloud. Agree? Now, as I said, the data you are dealing right now, it should be encrypted. you are working in a company, you are working in a banking domain, so the data which you are uploading or your client is uploading or your company is dealing with should be encrypted end to end. What is my end to end? From where you are uploading the data and the data which is stored in S3 should be encrypted. Okay. So first of all, you have to understand the transition. Okay. So in transition, so when you are uploading the data, basically, so I have told you that is there a direct connectivity between your on-premise to cloud, from your company's data center to cloud? Will there a direct connectivity? So answer is no. There are multiple hops are there. So when you upload your data, server 1, server 1, local server 2, 3, 4, and then it will be connecting to your S3 bucket, right? That's how internet work. So this is a scenario. So you want to avoid any data leak in this intermediate servers. So what you can do? So similar to security you give to while you are moving from the money from your home to bank. So Amazon gives you a one level security when you are using or when you are uploading your data. So when the data is in transition. So which protocol we are using to connect to upload the data? Which protocol we are using? HTTP protocol, or to be precise, HTTPS protocol. So whenever we are uploading or downloading the data from S3, okay, that time we are using HTTPS protocol, and HTTPS protocol is highly secure. So if you are search HTTPS security, so they will give you that HTTP protocol communicate on a two layer, SSL and TSL. So when HTTP and HTTPS, the difference is HTTP is again a hypertext protocol, but HTTPS is more secure, which has SSL and TSL certificate by default, secure socket layer and transport layer security, which will make sure your data is uploaded or downloaded in an encrypted format by default. Okay, so Amazon is working on HTTPS protocol to make sure that all the communication between you and your server or your S3 bucket or any service in Amazon will be on a secure channel. So if somebody hacks the communication, if somebody try to hack your transmission, still they will not able to understand what is there in the data or what you are trying to communicate with the cloud. That's the one thing. Second, now your data is uploaded to S3. Your data is uploaded to S3. So do you want the data to be encrypted or it should be simple text? So my requirement is we should keep the data in encrypted format. So this data should be encrypted. So there are two major encryption. So this is called encryption at rest because the data is now in the server. So in transition at rest. So here you have the data, here you have the data. If you are moving your data from one location to another, it is called in transition. Okay. So now you have uploaded the data, so that is in rest. Yeah, at rest. At rest we have two type of encryption: server side encryption and client side encryption. Now key understand these two words: server side encryption and the client side encryption. Okay, so I will explain you the client side encryption first. What is client side encryption? So you are the client for Amazon, you are the client, right? So many companies encrypt the data on their on premise in their house. So just like right now I have done the encryption, I will save this message in encrypted format in my local, and then I will upload into S3. So I'm doing the encryption at my end. There will be some overhead, there will be some charges, like see, I have to run some algorithm, run some jobs, but I have to do encryption at my local system or company's on premise before sending the data to the cloud. So what I'm doing, whatever security I want to provide to the data, I'm doing that and I'm uploading it to the cloud. In this case, whatever the money I have to spend in encryption will be bear by me. Now assume that you have hundreds of GBs of data. On a daily basis, you are generating 100 GB data. To encrypt the 100 GB data, there will be some CPU, there will be some computing power required, right? Like this, I just have encrypted a single small message, but talking about hundreds of GBs of data, it will be a overhead. It will be requiring a huge amount of memory or CPU. Agree? But still, many companies are there, just like banking domain. They need extra security, so they might encrypt the data at their end and upload it. Are we clear with this terminology? Server side encryption. Sorry, client side encryption. What is mean by client side encryption? The client, the user, doing the encryption at their end and then uploading the data. Okay? Clear? Any question here? Okay. Now, the next part is server side encryption, which we have to learn in detail. Now, what is meant by server side encryption? So, understand server. So, S3 is one of the server, it's a data center. Side encryption. So, Amazon given us a feature. Amazon given us a feature that don't do the encryption at your end. Don't do the encryption at your end. I will do the encryption for you. What Amazon is saying, they will do the encryption for us. Okay, so they should be charging us. If they are doing encryption, they should charge us. So Amazon says that they are not going to charge us for any encryption if you are doing encryption in S3. So that is server side encryption. So there is no charge associated with encryption done on S3. So you can tell Amazon that this is my data, keep this data in encrypted format. This is my data, keep this data in encrypted format. So this is your raw text data, raw data. You upload it to S3 and S3 will encrypt your data and keep there. S3 will encrypt your data and keep in S3 bucket. Clear? So here we have three type of encryption provided by Amazon S3. Okay. So encryption is done by Amazon, but there should be some key, right, to encrypt the data. There should be some key. I'm not worried about the algorithm. I'm more worried about the key, because without the key we will not able to decrypt the data. So here we have to understand who is going to manage the key. The first is S3 manages the key. So it is called S3 managed key, or short form is SSE, server side encryption S3. SSE, server side encryption S3. So here the encryption keys are managed by Amazon. It's just like depositing the money to the bank and forget about it. It's similar to depositing the money to the bank and forget about it. So you are just telling Amazon, encrypt my data, manage the key, everything you are managing, I am not doing anything. I just want the data to be encrypted. How you are encrypting, how you are managing the key, it doesn't matter. So this is called SSC S3. So this is again totally free. Second category here. What is the second category? So you are saying that the keys which are managed by Amazon, I don't trust that keys. I don't trust the keys which are generated by Amazon. So in this case, Amazon is doing the encryption for you, but you are saying that this is the key. Using this key, encrypt the data. Now these keys again are generated inside AWS. Inside AWS, there is a service called Amazon Key Management Service. Inside Amazon, there is a service called Amazon Key Management Service, when where you can generate your keys, custom keys. You can generate the custom keys, and you can ask Amazon that use this key to encrypt the data. Now, why Amazon has given the custom key provision? That according to the different algorithm, there are n number of ways, there are algorithms which will be used to create the keys. So we have symmetric keys, asymmetric keys. There are algorithms. The I will show you there are different type of methodologies how the keys are generated. So in this case, you are the owner of the key. You are the owner of the key. You have to manage the key. If you lose the key, if you delete the key, you will not able to decrypt your data. Amazon can't do anything in this case. Okay, but keys are generated in cloud. It is similar to taking a locker from the bank, and bank will provide you the key. Bank has a feasibility, they can provide you the key, and you have to maintain, you have to manage the key. If you lose the key, you will not able to access the locker. Okay, so this is Amazon managed, this is a KMS, key management service. Here you have to manage the key. So what is the short form? Amazon Key Management Service Managed Key. So SSC KMS, Key Management Service. So the keys are generated by the client, by the user, and provided to S3 to encrypt the data. Okay. Now the third category. So I'm not trusting S3 keys. I'm not trusting the keys which are generated by cloud. I'm saying that the keys will be created by me. Okay, so I will create a local key. The key will be created in my on premise. Okay, and I will provide this key to Amazon S3 to encrypt my data. So this is server side encryption with customer provided key. So who is providing the key? Customer. So SSC C. So these are the three categories. Are we clear with the encryption? So I will repeat again. I will repeat again. So when you are uploading your data to cloud or downloading the data to cloud, you require some encryption. So we are using HTTP protocol. So why HTTP protocol? Because HTTP protocol already come with SSL and TSL certificates, which are highly secure, and nobody from outside can hack your transmission. If they are able to hack, still they will not able to understand what is there in the data. So what communication you are doing with the cloud or from A point to B point, they will not able to decode it. Second, data at rest. So when you upload the data in the cloud, so there are either you can ask Amazon to encrypt your data, or you can encrypt the data and upload to S3. Okay, if you are uploading, encrypting your data to from your side, you have to bear the cost. You have to bear the encryption cost, which is running the servers to encrypt the data before uploading to S3. This is client side encryption. Now server side encryption basically means you are asking Amazon to encrypt your data. Now Amazon gives you encryption for free. So, but here encryption is done by Amazon S3 bucket, but here we have to understand who is going to manage the key and where the keys will be. In the first scenario, S3 manage key. So Amazon is totally managing the keys, the key life cycle, key rotation policies, what the algorithm they have to use. Everything is managed by Amazon. We don't have to worry anything. We just give the data. We just tell the Amazon that encrypt this data with your keys. Second, you are saying no, I am not going to use Amazon key. I want my own custom key. So either I can create the key my own premise or I can create the key in AWS. AWS has given us a console where I can create a key. So that is Amazon key management service, manage key. So the SSC KMS. So keys are generated inside the cloud and you are providing that key to encrypt your data. But this is a chargeable service. KMS is a chargeable service. So creating the key is $1 per key per month. So KMS is a chargeable service where the charge is for creating the key. The more you create the key, charge, but there is no charge for using the key. Okay, so if you are creating one key, it will be $1 per month per key. Okay, but if you are using this key 100 times, 1000 times, 10,000 times, there is no charge associated to that. But to create a key, there is $1 per month. That is AWS Key Management Service. Now, server-side encryption with customer provided key. Here you are creating the key on-premise and passing the key to the cloud to encrypt the data. Clear? So I will show you in the console how you can encrypt your data. So how Amazon, we are going to upload the data and encrypt it. Okay, so this is our bucket. This is, let's go to this bucket this time. There is only one file in this bucket or single object. Just upload the your any document. Okay. Now if you scroll down in the properties, if you scroll down here, you will see that do not specify a encryption key. Okay. Now let me give you one background. Previously, before 23, you can upload the data without any encryption. So your data is unencrypted. You can keep a data unencrypted in S3 bucket. Now Amazon has given a policy that when creating the bucket itself, there will be a default encryption. Remember when we created a bucket, there was a default encryption. So if you go to the bucket properties, so this is my bucket property. If you scroll down, you can see by default encryption is there. Default encryption. Okay, you can disable it. Right now, let's disable the bucket encryption. That means now it is my control to while uploading the data. I have to encrypt or not? Okay, this is other no. KMS bucket key. Okay, this is other feature. Okay, before 23, you can disable the default encryption. That means it is my wish. I want to upload the data with encryption or not. But now Amazon has given that the bucket should be encrypted. That means any object which is uploaded in S3 bucket, they should be either encrypted with SSC S3 or KMS, but the file should be encrypted. So now if I upload a file, so if you go to the permission, you can see do not specify the encryption. That means if your bucket require encryption upload, you must specify the key or upload will fail. Okay, so that means the bucket setting for default encryption are used to encrypt the data while uploading the S3. But previously, you can click here that no encryption should be there. Now specify the encryption. Now you can see, do you want to use bucket encryption or do you want to overwrite? So I'm saying my encryption. I'm specifying which encryption I want to keep. So now you can see S3 manage key. So here you can, S3 is managing key for me and here is KMS. So click on S3 manage key and upload the data. So your data is encrypted. If you click here, go down. So you can see encryption, server-side encryption settings. It is S3 manage key. So Amazon has encrypted your data with S3 manage key. So your data is encrypted. Okay. So upload any other file. So if I'm not encrypting the data, so what will happen here? In this case, it will take, if the bucket is encrypted, so it will take bucket policy. So even in bucket we have encrypted, mentioned that the data which is uploaded should be encrypted. Okay. Now I will show you if I have any older bucket without encryption. Let me check. This is again default. I think they have, again this is by default bucket is encrypted. Yeah, they have given that all the buckets should be encrypted by default. So previously we have the feature that do you want to encrypt or not. Okay. Now let's understand how Amazon help us to create a key. If you want to create a key in Amazon, so this is a key management service, or we call it KMS. So you can see this is Amazon managed key. So these are the keys which is Amazon is going to use to create the encryption for you. You can see S3, AWS S3. So this is a key which is used by Amazon to encrypt your data when you are selecting S3 manage key. So when I am uploading, so if here I am selecting S3 manage key, that means this key will be used to encrypt the data. But if I want to create my own key, the customer manage key. Okay, so if I create here, you can see symmetric, asymmetric, encryption type, decryption type, general sync. There are so many algorithm and methodologies are there to create a key. Okay, you to give the description, how the keys, who is going to administrate the keys, permissions, and so on. You have to manage all these things. Even the life cycle of the key you have to manage. Then when you have to use the key, when the key should be reset, all these things you have to manage. This is chargeable service. If you are creating a key, you will be getting $1 charge per month. Okay, but I will show you here how we can use it. So if you click here, okay, let me show you how you can upload a data using KMS. So click upload, add a file, select any of the file, go to the permission, specify the key over in the bucket setting. Instead of SSE S3, click on the KMS. Click on the KMS. Now here you have to pass the your key value. Choose from your AWS. So I don't have any custom key. I don't have any customer created key. So Amazon saying that do you want to use this key, Amazon managed key? So I can use that key, Amazon managed key. But if you can pass your own key created by you in your S3 bucket. So you can see KMS Amazon managed key. Okay, and I have passed a custom key. I have not created the key. This is the key which is created by Amazon, but I am using as KMS. मतलब बेसिकली अमेजोन ही मैनेज कर रहा है ये वाली की तो अभी अमेजोन की ही है बट मैंने एज अ कस्टम की पास कर दी है otherwise you can create your own key and pass in KMS. Okay, so these keys which are managed by Amazon, these are all free keys. These are free keys, you can use it anywhere you want because this is are managed by Amazon. If you are creating your own keys in KMS, it is chargeable service and you have to pay the charges for the keys, not for the usage. Okay, so while uploading the data, you can uh, define the encryption key or you can change the key also. So I can switch to SSE S3. So after uploading the data also, you can change the encryption pad key. So you can see now it is S3 SSE. Now anybody has any question on this? Now third part, how we can provide a custom key. So if you see here, clients and encryption. Now, yeah. So how you can do the clients and encryption? Let me show you. There was some comment here. Yes. The object copied to the with customer provided encryption key SSE will fail to copy with S3 console. To copy the object encrypted with SSE, use CLI, SDK or S3 REST API. That means from console we will not able to use customer provided key to encrypt the data in S3. You have to use backend CLI to upload the data. Okay. So just remember there are three type of encryption methodology in server side encryption: S3 managed key, KMS managed key, and server side encryption with customer provided key. Any question here? Simple. Any question? Okay. So this is how the object will look like when you're not specifying previously. So this is how the request which is generated when you're uploading the data. So right now you are using the console, right? You are using a browser. You're just clicking here. You are clicking the file and just submitting, just upload the file. But behind the scene, this is the request is generated. Put object. HTTP protocol, bucket name, when you are uploading the data, who is authorized, your name, what is the type of file, what is the size of file, this is a header. Now in HTTP, how many of you don't know, there are couple of things. I have explained you the method. So methods are, so in HTTP, I have told you to read about HTTP a little. So HTTP has method. So just go to any website, W3 W3 School is a good website to learn everything in a nutshell. Okay, so HTML, HTTP. I want to go to show you the methods. No. Okay, so what are different methods in HTTP? Okay, I will show you from the Wikipedia. So these are the get, head, post, put, delete, option, trace, patch, are the different methods. After this, there is a header and body. You can see the header, okay, and will be a body. Status code we have covered, response code, okay, and there will be a body, header and body. What is header and body? What is header and what is body? So when you are sending a signal, when you are sending a request, there is a header and body. Header means what metadata I am sending. Header means information about your data or body or information. Here, okay, this here. Header, HTTP header. It's a information about what you are sending, and body is actual data. HTTP header means the information about the body or data, and body means actual information. So this is one typical type of HTTP request. So this is a put request. This will be covering in the header. This part is header, and this is actual body, means actual file. Okay. So this all information will be in header. So what information? Who is uploading the data? Where to upload the data? Who is authorized? Size of the data, and so on. So you can see there is one column is X Amazon metadata. So who is uploading the data? Okay, these are some information while you are uploading the data. So these are sample HTTP. Again, this is a sample. This is not the actual one. So there will be more information. So when you are clicking anything on cloud or even in a browser, this huge amount of data is transferred between the two computers, two servers. Give me the information, pass the information. So this is the actual behind the scene. This request is generated. So this is how your request will look like when you are uploading the data without encryption. Okay. So when you want Amazon to encrypt, you have to give the command to Amazon, right, to encrypt the data. So when you are uploading the data and giving the instruction that please encrypt my data, so this is the extra parameter you have to add while uploading the data. Okay, to encrypt an object at the time of upload, you need to add a header called X Amazon server side encryption. Remember, this is important. This is asked in exam. To to the request to tell S3 to encrypt the object using SCCSC, SSCS3 or KMS. Following is an example. If you want to enable SSCS3, the value is AES 256. If it is a KMS key, the value for this is AWS KMS. So while uploading the data through CLI to backend, you have to use this extra header. But in the console, when we are uploading, as I said, you just has to click the encryption type. This will be automatically created. So when we are uploading, so when you are clicking on the encryption, when you're clicking on this thing, this header is automatically created. If you're clicking this, that means you're telling Amazon that use SSCS3. So this line will automatically will added in the header. So when you're clicking the other one, KMS, with the KMS key, so the value will be changed to AWS KMS, but this will be same. So you are asking Amazon to encrypt your data. You're telling Amazon to encrypt the data. This is how your the request will look like. But more important, you have to understand this header value, header key, and its value. So if you have SSC S3, AES 256 is the value that you have to remember. Mug up. Okay, when you are doing encryption in Amazon, you have to pass a extra header, call it AWS X AWS server side encryption, and pass the value. Value is can be two. So AES 256 for SSC and AWKMS for KMS key. Are we clear with this? Any question? A little confusing, a little overhead. Okay, let's. Okay, so this is encryption. I'm not going more for the encryption. Let's do a small demo, small practical. Let's host a website. Okay, this is where encryption ends. Huh? There's no more than, and similar concept will be there when we are going to learn further services like EC2 machine, uh, database, and so on. Where you keep the data should be encrypted. So wherever you find the word encryption, encrypted data, this is the things we have to cover. Let Amazon encrypt your data, or do you want to encrypt your data? Okay. So the keys are important. Everywhere you have to use your key, or you want Amazon to provide their own keys. Now let's use S3 to host a website. I will explain you this in detail, but let me give you a small demo. So how many of you know how the websites are hosted? So I will not go with the theory right now. Let it be. I will explain later. So this is my S3 bucket. It's empty, right? So I will download a template from the website. Okay, there will be so many websites are there which gives you the templates. This is one website where you can download the templates of any website. So let's say you want to start a new business, digital media, tourism. Now let's go with the tourism. So I can see this is a sample template you can download. So this is unzip it. Now, okay, so this is a template website which we have downloaded. Just upload all this data into your S3 bucket. Giving a permission public. Right now you don't know what is mean how what is public and private. Just I'm uploading. Let's wait couple of seconds. Okay, now using S3 I have hosted a website. That's it. You can see this is my S3 URL, and this is a fully managed service website. So I just have to download a template. I just have to download a template. If you want, you can modify the template and just use this. So this is a website. You can host a website. So I can edit few things if you want. We can edit contact. Yes. If you know the how you HTML works. Okay. If you know how front end HTML works, you can do that. Even I'm not expert, but I know few things. Okay. Demo underscore class. Add the mobile number, random number, plus 91123123. Okay. Address, uh, Pune, India. Okay. These are few things which you can edit. Okay, this is okay. Testimonial regarding homepage. I can put the address here, office address, mobile number again, 9198989899. Email address. So I can download some templates and modify it according to my use, and I can host that thing in no S3. So you can host a website in S3 and it's very easy. Just go here. I will explain you how we can do that in detail tomorrow, and it will take hardly 15 minutes. It's that easy. Don't have to do anything. Just download and upload. Just download the template. If you want to modify it, modify it. Otherwise, just upload it to S3. Sorry. This is my website. So you can see Pune, mobile number, demo class. Okay. So you can see here as well. So you can change the website. You can do so many things if you know the front end. So you can download a template, modify the template according to your use case, and host it in S3. It's very, 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 very cheap to host a website in using S3. Okay, so we'll do that tomorrow. Meanwhile, anybody has any question for assignment? Just check how can we host a website in S3 if you want to do that. Otherwise, we'll cover tomorrow. Okay, guys. So let me